Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Divination Demonstration. This week we are looking at the Otherworld spread. It's longer than most of the spreads we look at. It's 12 cards, but Samhain is our spiritual new year and taking a good, more detailed look at what's to come, I think this is one of the moments where it's really worthwhile of getting a more expansive view about what's going on with ourselves. We will, of course, be using the Halloween Tarot deck by Karen Lee and Kipling West. So let's begin. The first card represents the situation and the priorities for the time beings. And for this, our querent got the Ace of Imps. Imps are related to the Wands suit, fire, and projective energy. This represents a really good beginning, that very wonderful things are coming. It could be a project, a new idea, an adventure to be coming, a moment of clarity, trying out something new, but it's all about that full energy and vitality and drive that comes along with a fiery suit. So this person is definitely on a mission and is pursuing that absolutely wholeheartedly. So this person is setting themselves up for success so that they can meet some of their larger goals. Very good. Now, our second card represents the dreams and desires of the querent that they need to explore and manifest. And for this, they pulled the Three of Bats. It relates to the Suit of Swords, the air element, and also projective energy. This is a rather unhappy card. It represents emotional agony, things like grief, pain, disappointment, troubling outside influences, a sense of betrayal. And so you might think, what in the world would this person be doing if they need to explore and manifest this? This is a call to do shadow work and to do it intensely. Sometimes we have a tendency to bury unpleasant things into the back of our minds, and it isn't until something hits a sensitive spot that we really react to it and we realize, oh, I really did not deal with that at all. This is a call to clear out that closet, see what skeletons are dancing, and deal with them accordingly, and learn how to put things in their proper place, and also learn to let go of some of the intensity of the emotion. How we felt about something when it happened, and then how we feel about it 10 years down the line should really be different things. There's a lot of life to be lived, and we don't want to find ourselves frozen to just one specific moment in time and allowing that to completely dominate our lives. So it's not a pleasant card to have coming up and something that you're needing to do, but on the other hand, the rewards for actually doing the work could be absolutely limitless. So it's still a good thing to see. Now, the third card is about how to develop prosperity in the new year, and our querent drew the Five of Imps. So think wands, fire element, projective energy. And as you can see, as the imps are kind of bashing each other about with the sticks, it's about conflict, but it's also about excitement, also the idea of rebellion or struggling or competition. When you think about developing prosperity, that's going to come down to professional endeavors. So it's about roll up those sleeves, get busy, and don't shy away just because there are other people trying to achieve the same thing. Go out and put forth your best effort, learn how to be better, and really give this a lot of energy. You can make it. You can absolutely make it, even in these chaotic times and these never know what's going to happen from one moment to the next kind of times. You still have something that is worthwhile to offer. You just have to pursue it, and you have to pursue it, I don't want to say single-mindedly, but with a lot of intense focus. Next, the fourth card, how to develop love for the new year. For this, our querent has the Queen of Ghosts, so think cups, water, receptive energy. Of course, with a court card, of which the querent pulled many court cards, this could represent a literal person. But just looking at the card itself, this is someone who is secretive, creative, intuitive, someone who puts their visions into action, someone who's honest, devoted, and capable of deep love. Now, if the querent is a woman, I think this would be a call to really develop their own feminine energy, because and this will also go into who you happen to be sexually attracted to. If you're a woman who's attracted to men, men, they are attracted to the energy that is different from themselves. So they'll be looking for that femininity. They're not looking for a drinking buddy or someone to go hunting with or anything like that. They're not looking for another dude. They're looking for a woman. So cultivating that feminine energy would be a very useful thing to do in order to attract the appropriate person into your life. Now, if the querent is a man, then this would be more so of what to look for. This is someone who's at peace with herself and her identity, someone who's going to be a counterbalance to his own energies, and probably a very practical person. If you're putting visions into actions, you're not just daydreaming life away. And it's with the quality of being honest and devoted. That would show someone who's capable of a sincere and a deep regard, someone who's actually in it for the relationship and not for any manipulative reasons. So there's that. Now, next, the fifth card is how to develop your spirituality in the new year. Our querent drew the Two of Bats. So think swords, air, and projective energy. This is a card about dualities, opposites, but it also suggests a sense of tension or indecision, difficult search. When it comes to developing spirituality, we all have our moments where we are pushed out of our comfort zone, and whether it's a spirit guide or a deity or an animal totem, whatever it is, there's something that's saying, it's time for you to go off into this uncomfortable direction. It's time for you to deal with certain things. It's time for you to reassess your premises that you've been operating on and give some things some renewed thought with fresher eyes. And that's not the funnest thing, but it is a necessary process. This kind of process precedes moments of great personal evolution. So this is a very good sign for the querent spirituality. They're being put in a position to where they can become a deeper and more spiritual person and have greater connectivity with whatever god or gods that they're worshiping, but also with who they are as a spiritual being. So it's still all very good. Next, the sixth card is Omens. It's representing current encounters that the querent is having with the otherworld. We are always interacting with the otherworld. Both sides of the veil. It is in its interconnectivity, but we aren't always consciously aware of these encounters or how the energy in the otherworld is affecting us over here in the material world. Our querent drew the Nine of Ghosts, so think cups, water, and receptive energy. And it's a very good and wonderful card. It's about wishes coming true, finding satisfaction, getting prosperity. It's another good card that bolsters the previous one that had to do with prosperity and professional concerns. This is about living the good life. I would take this to mean that the other world, whatever supporters our querent has on that side, they're very much in this person's corner, and they're actively assisting them to get them into an improved situation. So, very, very good sign. Now, seventh card, it's Passing the Veil. This is magic that is unfolding in the querent's life in real time. So we have the Knight of Ghosts. You might think cups, waters, receptive energy. Again, as a court card, this could be a literal person. It represents someone who's poetic yet driven, oftentimes a young man, or at least not an older man. Knights, of course, are messengers, and you can see he's carrying a scroll. This could be a proposition, a proposal, an invitation of some kind. The querent, this leads me to believe they're not necessarily being dragged by the ear into some kind of spiritual work that they need to be doing, but they are being actively invited to pursue it, saying, this is the moment, you have all the support that you need, it's going to be okay for you to explore this, whatever it happens to be. So it is certainly an invitation, and I have found it's better to accept invitations because if we have a patron deity or a strong spirit in our lives, and they think that we really need to deal with something and we keep on ignoring them, there does come a time when they say, well, I invited you and now I'm making you. So sometimes it's better to give in gracefully. Next, we have the eighth card, which is a message from the querent's ancestors. Our querent pulled the King of Imps, wands, fire, projective energy, again, possibly a literal person. This would be someone who's confident, creative, possibly an entrepreneur, perhaps more concerned in the realm of arts or music, things of that kind. but it also has a quality of honesty and friendliness, helpfulness, compassion, but also being hasty and impulsive. This is someone who might be lighting a fire under the backside of the querent, someone to kind of propel them into motion. Get going. It's time to go. It could. You might think of any ancestors that you have who happen to be male, but they're wanting the querent to progress and to go on and to live life. So more nagging, but it's the best possible kind. Then for the ninth card, it's a message from the querent's spirit guide. And our querent got the Ten of Ghosts. Think cups, water, receptive energy. This is about lasting happiness, of having a passion for life, having good friendships, having a romantic love that's all in very good order. The spirit guide for the querent is essentially saying these are good things that you need to be having in your life. You do not have to fight them. You do not have to distrust them when they arrive. It's just time for you to let this energy into your life and to become a better and a more complete person for it. We aren't islands. Even the most introverted of us and the most independently minded of us, we are not islands. We're not these atoms that are just wandering the universe. We're meant to have connections, and this is a reminder for the querent to allow those connections to form. Now, for the 10th card, it represents a message from the Fae and spirits from the other world to the querent, and our querent got the Eight of Imps. Think wands, fire, projective energy. This is about hastiness, over-eagerness, sometimes stumbling over your own feet in order to make advancement, and sometimes you are your own obstacle. But it's also about successful sudden action, successful progress. It's also about getting messages or letters of love. One of the notes said all Cupid style, and you can see the cute little imps. They are kind of like little devilish cupids, aren't they? So I think this does go back to about the querent, what the querent needs to do in order to attract love into life. I think that it's not just going to be about relentless pursuit. I think it's also going to be developing more receptive energy of being able to accept regard back. Possibly this means that the querent is struggling with some self-esteem issues for whatever reason, because let's face it, we all have our insecurities. Does not make any of us unique, and all of us have moments where we wonder if we're worthy of love or if love will ever come into our lives. And I think this is something that the querent is going to be called upon to work at. You can't just, hunt down this love. You have to be willing to accept it when it is offered. So lots of food for thought there. Now, the 11th card, events to unfold by the next full moon. This is the only appearance of a major arcana card in this spread for this querent, and they pulled the Emperor. Now, major arcana cards, they have an overarching importance. They affect everything else that's going on in the spread, and they don't just represent the now, they represent things going forward. Now, the Emperor in this deck is represented by Frankenstein's monster, and it's about control, leadership, authority, taking responsibility for one's actions and facing the consequences. So something is coming full circle. And because it is the Emperor, I would imagine that it has something to do with a male in the querent's life, possibly an authority figure, a parent, or another relative of at least one generation above the querent, possibly an employer, or someone who they just have a lot of respect for. But it's going to be coming into play. It might be they're affected by someone else's ideas, but it's also about how they've applied those ideas and seeing the results of that. This could be a moment in which the querent is going to get some adjustment. And when you think about the next full moon, well, that would be today. So, interesting stuff. So if the querent is not experiencing some kind of event around this particular full moon, then definitely by the next time it cycles around, something will have shaken loose. So, brace for impact. Now, our 12th and our last card represents a major event or something that is going to unfold by the next Samhain. And our querent pulled the Ace of Cups, Ace of Ghosts, rather. but it does represent cups, water, and receptive energy. It's about great love, happiness, and having the ability to experience in them. Powerful emotions, being productive, enjoying beauty, experiencing pleasure. I'm really focusing in on the expression of the ability to experience love and happiness. This is absolutely about developing that receptive energy that allows us to receive love from other people, whether it's from family members or friends or from a romantic partner. It is about accepting that, yes, there is something worthy in us that does actually deserve this love, and that is receiving that love from a place of justice, because we are worth it and we are okay and we are worthwhile. So I would imagine that over the course of the next year, a lot of issues having to do with self-esteem and the ability to accept good things coming into your life is going to be a major thing for the Querent. So lots of work to be done. I imagine there'll be a considerable amount of shadow work that needs to be done in order to make it all come together. But wow, a lot's going on here. It shows how sometimes, even though a lot of times our shorter spreads, they do give us the amount of information we do need to have. But with the longer spreads, especially on special occasions, it's kind of nice to take a more detailed look. So, hope you enjoyed that. If you decide to use the spread, please let me know. I'm going to post a copy of what the spread looks like in our Discord server, Blackbird's Brew. It's going to be in the Magical Tidbits channel. So if you're interested, be sure to look at that. Let me know what kind of results you have. If you haven't already joined Blackbird's Brew, there will be a link in the description box below. And of course, like and subscribe to this video. So I think that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week with another divination demonstration. But bye for now.